How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about LGBT activists, and to be more exact, trans rights activists who occupied the Oklahoma State Capitol over the new bill that proposes an end to gender reassignment surgery for children. Now, I don't see what's wrong with the bill. If you want to be 18 years old, you want to be an adult, and you want to do whatever you want to do to your body, you want to chop things off, you want to add things on, whatever you want to do, that is your prerogative. That's your adult business. But I think children should be protected. I don't think we should be providing 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds with puberty blockers and hormone blockers. Just because a little boy says, hey, you know what? I feel like a girl does not mean he's going to feel that same way tomorrow, let alone when he gets to be an adult. But I'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. First, let's roll some clips. And these are very interesting clips, which will be in the description box if you want to see and hear them without my commentary. If you're on IG, link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But these are very interesting because we've seen a so-called insurrection, right? J6 back on January 6, 2021. We saw that happen, and you got guys that are still going through some legal issues, getting sent to the federal penitentiary for not even going inside. But these guys and girls, or whatever they identify as, are able to do this with impunity, and there's no problem. But let's go ahead and play it right quick. Without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
We are Oklahoma! We are Oklahoma! We are Oklahoma!
Now, I got a question to all the BLM people, all the wokey woke, pro-black, blackity blacks. How do y'all feel about your slogan being co-opted? Okay, first it was Black Lives Matter. Now it's Trans Lives Matter. But if I say something like all lives matter, then I'm considered a racist. If I say that everybody's life matters, including people that might be transgender, because that's what all means, right? If I say all, then I'm somehow a bigot. But if they say trans, literally just taking the BLM thing and making it be just about them and nobody else, not even about black folks specifically, then that's somehow a good thing and it's not really to be criticized. Very interesting, but I digress.
We are Oklahoma! 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 We are Oklahoma!
Now, I wonder who's funding this whole operation, because I'm seeing they have, not the police, obviously. The police, they, doing their job. I'm talking about the people that are out there. We are Oklahoma. I'm seeing color coordination going on. I'm seeing signs going on. The signs appear to be homemade. The shirts appear to be kind of homemade, but I think there's some money flowing behind this, of course, because it's a bigger political issue that has ramifications, not just in Oklahoma, but nationwide.
We are Oklahoma! We are Oklahoma! We are Oklahoma!
You see the shirts, the pink and the light blue, that's the trans flag. And you see the signs all have the similar type of thing. Okay. Is that a dream catcher right there? I'm not sure what that is. I don't know what that's all about, but it's all, you see the pink and the blue and all that. You see this person right here, probably a biological woman. And my thing is, why would you want to ruin your body like that? Because when you put yourself on hormones, especially little children, that's going to really damage them. They might not want to be that. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Let me just not get ahead of myself. I'm seeing some signs right here. There's a sign hidden right here. Let me just go zoom out. You see that sign right there? I'm going to zoom in so I can read it, but it says things Republicans fear: love, diversity, acceptance, things drag teaches, see above. So that is them trying to say that drag queen story time is fine. To sing your little 5 or 6-year-old boy and girl to see a fully grown man expose his genitalia to your children, that's totally fine. That's not a problem at all. I think that's an issue. Again, if you want to be an adult and have adult activities, adult behavior, that's your business, that's your prerogative. But leave the kids alone. Is that so much to ask? And here's another question. Why are they going so hard to get the kids involved with the trans agenda, with the LGBTQ elemental P agenda? Why? If you're an adult, fine. I don't care. Leave the kids alone. But let's continue with this.
We are Oklahoma! We are Oklahoma! We are Oklahoma! We are Oklahoma!
So you get the general idea there. Again, these will be in the description. Here's another video. It says, just then, transgender protesters stormed the Oklahoma Capitol chanting, "This is our house." When do the insurrection charges begin? Certainly looks like one to me. It sure does. Isn't that the same thing that they were saying during J6? This is our house. It's the people's house. How is it any different? But yet you got guys that are still locked up, solitary confinement, no trial or nothing. You know, people like Baked Alaska, who I don't really care for at all. He didn't even go inside the building, from what I hear. He was just recording outside. There was no violent crime. He's getting federal penitentiary time. Okay, it's like, for what though? But these people right here is no problem. You probably wouldn't even see this story on television. And if you do see it, they'll talk about it in a positive way because they say they're fighting for good change. What they say, good trouble, that's what they're going to say. So trans lives matter, not black lives matter, which is very specific. All lives matter, which is everybody, including black and trans and everybody. All trans lives matter. That's what they're going to say out here. That's totally fine, though. We're not going to hear from BLM talking about that because BLM is LGBT and they're aligned with the trans groups. So that's totally fine. BLM has no problem with them taking that and using it, but they got an issue with somebody saying all lives matter. And if you have an all lives matter bumper sticker on your car, you're considered to be a racist or an extremist by some of these groups that are out there. Here's an article we're going to get to a little bit. I just want to see if there's any more we can kind of glean from this. And of course, everything, like I say, right there on the website, also in the description. So the protest, again, is to protest bill criminalizing genital mutilation of minors, because that's what gender reassignment surgery is. And also things like puberty blockers and hormone blockers. Okay, that might not necessarily mutilate your genitalia, but it would definitely affect you in a way that could be irreversible, in a way that I think is irreversible. If you give your 5-year-old hormones and puberty blockers, there's a reason for that. You can't just say, oh, well, it's reversible. Well, if you can reverse it, why do it at that particular age? You see what I mean? They want to get these kids early, and it's kind of a way to sterilize some people, but that's a little bit deeper, so I digress. The Millstone Act, which is what it's called, would, quote, prohibit Oklahoma doctors from providing gender transition procedures or referral services relating to such procedures to anyone under the age of 26. Okay, 26, 18, I think that's fine. You know, I think that's totally fine. I think you should kind of like outlaw the practice altogether, personally. But anything under 18, for sure. 26, they're going to have a hard time because say, you know, I'm an adult, whatever. But I don't have a personal problem with that, not at all. Trans activists gathered in Oklahoma Capitol Monday to protest legislation that would prohibit the sterilization and mutilation of children. Trans lives matter, they chanted. Legislative session began in the state on Monday, and lawmakers are expected to consider the Millstone Act, which would prohibit Oklahoma doctors from providing gender transition procedures or referrals to anyone under 26. They might change that to 18. If they did, that'd probably make more sense, because you're going to have a hard time saying 26. But if it was me, I wouldn't be against it. If it was me, I'd ban it altogether. If I could be the king and just rule by fiat, if I can get my scepter and just hit it on the ground and make a rule, I would say this would be outlawed altogether. Altogether, it'd be outlawed. But you got to be able to let adults be adults at a certain point, I suppose. But still, I would outlaw altogether. Hold on. Quote, we're not going to beat these bills by rehashing the same far left rhetoric and playing victim. We're going to defeat these bills by finding common ground with Republicans legislature and helping them see this isn't necessarily the winning issue they think it is. So who is the person that says this? Brittany Novotny. This is a trans activist and lawyer. I wonder what their birth name was. Probably Bill or something like that. You know, Hank, Bill, some other, you know, regular one syllable Midwest name. But anyway, I digress. House Bills 2736 and 2186 equate drag performances to strip club performances. They are. Okay, because even if they don't get naked, it's the same thing. Because I've been to strip clubs, not because I wanted to go there, because I'm doing business. But anyway, I digress. I've been in these clubs, and not all the time do the girls get naked. They might have on a bikini or something like that. But you wouldn't bring your kids there. Same thing with a drag performance. Why would you bring your kids? Why would you bring little children to a drag performance? There's only one reason why you would do that. And everybody knows what it is, even if you don't want to say it. But I digress. Adult cabaret performance means a performance in location other than an adult cabaret that features topless dancers, go-go dancers, exotic dancers, strippers, drag queens, or similar entertainers who provide entertainment that appeals to the prurient interest, regardless of whether or not the performance is for consideration. Yeah, so drag performances, none of that should be going on. Having children involved, no puberty blockers, hormone blockers for kids, minors. Yeah, I'm all with that. The only roadblock is going to be the age, 26. Change it to 18, there's no problem. Again, if it's me, I'll say ban it altogether, but I know how people are. You know, people want to be adults, they want to be 18, chop off the tallywhacker. You know, I think that should be their business, but leave the kids out of it. But as I close, I'm going to say this. This is a step in the positive direction for Oklahoma and for the whole country. A lot of the activists don't want this to happen. Why? But why though? That's the question. Why? Why must a minor have this done? I saw your man or your girl or whatever they identify now as Big Bruce, Caitlyn Jenner on Fox talking about this is a bad thing. It's like, yo, stop. Leave the kids alone. If you think that kids should have this kind of procedure done to them, you need to get locked up. That's just the bottom line, in my humble opinion at least. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here with this bill? Should the bill pass? Should it not pass? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This bill should not pass. Shame on the so-called trans activists. This is no more than a political thing for them to try and advance their particular agenda. And we all know where it goes. It's not just about, love is love and we want to express ourselves. No, you want to be able to take children and twist their minds to make them be what you want them to be. And we know where this whole thing goes. When you're talking about LGBT, trans, and everything else, what does it all boil down to? And it's a one syllable word with 3 letters. It starts with an S and it ends with an EX. We all know what it is. So let's not do that. If that's okay to you, then I don't know what to tell you. Gulag, big rocks, little rocks, ASAP. I'm not being so serious. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.